Recently, I was explaining to one of my female friends about how it's possible for a brother to miss and pee on the toilet seat. But as I was talking about all the possibilities of how that could have happened, and the intricacies of why it happened, I thought, wait a moment, there isn't a YouTube video already explaining this. So I made one. Well, here's the video about the truth of why guys pee on the toilet seat. Kind of.
Now, if you're here today, you're either A, a girl who's genuinely confused, or B, a boy looking for affirmation that what he does in the bathroom isn't weird. Anyways, moving on, we're going to talk about the first thing, which is to
remember to aim. It's very important.
Now, this factor is key, and I would explain how we do aim, but that's way better explained by Bethany from Jumanji.
Oh, this is so much easier!
It's cool, right?
Yeah, because you have like a handle.
Now, you might be thinking, how can somebody miss? They have a freaking joystick. Well, the problem is, like a gun, that shit don't always shoot straight. Just because you're pointing in the right direction, don't mean it's gonna go in the right direction. Your initial burst could be right or left, and yeah, you could rotate to self-correct, but the damage has already been done. Additionally, there are other possibilities. First of all, there's what I like to call split stream, which, you can guess it splits into two streams. And you can't really do anything about that except for kind of like squat. Now, this splitting streams can happen more than once. Once you get to 3, my friend likes to call it the devil's trident, but when you get to 4, I don't really have a name. I would say you can split into one of two categories, either a sprinkler or a hose, or some combination of either or. If you do have a name, leave it down in the comments below. Now, the Earth may be flat, but many people forget that the world is still 3D, which means that peeing has a y-axis. That means there's drop. So depending on bladder control and how long you've been pissing for, you're going to mess up the pressure and the distance. Maybe too much at the beginning or not enough at the end, and, well, now you have to clean. Fortunately, there are a number of solutions I have come up with that can remedy this problem. The first solution would be to install a wall urinal, which would increase the size of your target sizably to the wall, the floor, the left, and the right. Basically, you can't miss, unless you're trying to, or you pee like this somehow. Unfortunately, changing the size of the target has some unforeseen consequences. By increasing the margin of error, you create incentives to test the boundaries. I'll give you an example for the type of this behavior. When I was in elementary school, we had these types of bathrooms, and sometimes I would walk in on other kids shooting from 6 or 8 feet away. I would usually ask what they were up to, and a classic response would be, going for distance, which of course I already knew, when really I wanted to figure out how far they've gotten away. And normally I would just think, heh, rookie numbers. Now, this second solution might sound kind of stupid to you, but hear me out. You put a target on the toilet. Why this works, you may ask? Well, it gives you something to aim for and keeps your focus. If you ever seen a fly in a toilet and have an aim for that crap, what are you doing? Now, that last one brings up a point which I have not addressed. Most of these things I've talked about are things that are beyond the guy's control, when really most guys are just too lazy to flip at the toilet seat, thus reducing the target, or they just don't care enough. At the end of the day, there is a solution that fixes all the problems. That's easy, where you just flip up the toilet seat and take a seat, but that requires more steps and it's harder. So, yeah. Now, you probably don't care enough to install a urinal or put a fly sticker on the toilet, but you're already putting no effort in anyway. But if you really want that giant urinal where you can literally pee anywhere and you can chew at flies, I have a solution for you. Just go outside.